A very consequential day. Democrats are now officially crafting articles of impeachment against the president. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi making it official just moments ago.
The facts are uncontested. The president abused his power for his own personal political benefit.
Cohen, who serves on the House Judiciary Committee. Good morning, Congressman. I really do appreciate your time this morning, especially this morning of all days. What do you think the articles of impeachment against the president should be?
Well, they certainly will include the abuse of power and the obstruction of Congress. It's possible we'll get to obstruction of justice, but we are a team. The Democratic Caucus, the Judiciary Committee, we're all working as a team, and we will see what Speaker Pelosi and her team comes up with, and then we'll support it.
Do you believe anything from the Mueller report should be included in those articles?
What I believe and what the team proposes are maybe two different things, and I'm on the team.
What do you believe, sir?
I believe that the Democratic Caucus and Speaker Pelosi are leading America in the right direction, standing up for our Constitution, our oath of office, and standing in the feet of the Founding Fathers, and we will proceed as a team.
Can you elaborate at all on that? It sounds to me like you're saying leadership wants to keep this narrow focused on Ukraine. You may feel differently?
No, what I'm saying is I'm going to work with leadership. I've been maybe an agitator some in the past to bring impeachment to the fore. I'm proud we brought it to the fore. I'm proud we've gotten here. It's been somewhat of a circuitous route, but at this point we all need to work together and win this game for America.
I understand your point. Let's move on. One of the three tenets that Chairman Nadler set out a year ago when he was on MSNBC to move forward with impeachment is bipartisanship. Here is what he said.
You have to be able to think at the beginning of the impeachment process that the evidence is so clear of offenses so grave that once you've laid out all the evidence, a good fraction of the opposition voters will reluctantly admit to themselves they had to do it. Otherwise, you have a partisan impeachment which would tear the country apart.
Okay, well, at least publicly, not a single Republican member of either chamber has voiced support for impeaching the president, removing him from office. Not a single Republican member even voted with the Democrats on the rules for impeachment. Are you concerned at all that that third threshold laid out by Chairman Nadler himself has not been met?
Chairman Nadler was thinking of a Republican Party that had members like Howard Baker, Barry Goldwater, what they called Rockefeller Republicans. They no longer exist. With that as a fact, you should not have expected Republicans to follow the facts and abide by their oath. Instead, they are following Donald Trump and pledging an oath to him. It's a different Republican Party that Jerry Nadler was talking about. We should not let this unfortunate demise of the Republican Party veto and stymie what is the correct thing to do for America and what the Founding Fathers dictate. That is impeachment of this president.
But he made that statement last November when the Republican Party was then what it is now, Congressman. He knew the makeup of Republicans in Congress, and he still said, you got to have this if you want to move forward with impeachment. And the polling hasn't moved at all.
Polling has moved, Poppy. That's not true. 70% of Americans favor this impeachment inquiry. 50% of Americans believe he should be impeached and removed from office. There's 7% that are undecided. That's a pretty bad position for the president.
So,
but regardless of that, we have to do our oaths. We need to continue with the truth. And we don't need to be impeded by a cult group that supports Donald Trump.
Just to lay out the facts for everyone, you're right and I'm right. We're talking about different polls. You're right on the 70%, the ABC News, Washington Post polling. I'm talking about the CNN polling, pre-House Intel Committee hearings and posts that showed it remaining at 50%. Let's move on to something, final question I have for you. Not exactly on this, but related. And it really, really struck me, and that is the retirement of Congressman Denny Heck. He wrote a post about it yesterday. And what struck me is the words that he used about why he is choosing to leave Congress. Let me read you some of them. Quote, "The countless hours that I have spent investigating the Russian election interference and the impeachment inquiry have rendered my soul weary." He goes on to say, "Success seems to be measured by how many Twitter followers one has, which are largely gained by saying increasingly outrageous things. The more personal, the better. There are simply too many hyperbolic adjectives, too few nouns. Civility is out. Compromise is out. All or nothing is in." Do you ever feel like that? Have you considered retiring because of it?
I haven't considered retiring, but I have been frustrated and disappointed, and sometimes have periods where I get a little down, because every day there's a new revelation of something awful that's happened up here, mostly provided by Trump, and he's the cause of the Twitter and a lot of the vitriol. But there are Republicans too, and it's difficult to watch them march down like lemmings to the sea. It is very disillusioning and disappointing, but at the same time, today we have a speaker that's calling on impeachment of a president who are the experts have said are exactly what the founding fathers feared. So progress is being made. It's slow. It's difficult to make progress in Washington, but progress is being made.
Congressman Steve Cohen, thank you for your time, and of course we thank Denny Heck for serving in Congress and wish him the best in his next chapter. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Poppy.